Every story can be looked at from three levels: the events that took place, that is, the facts, the feelings of the person telling the story, and the values underneath the feelings. So, what are facts? So, the listener reflects what the person has said and checks for confirmation that the important parts of the communication were heard accurately. The facts are about what actually happened, what you could see or hear if you viewed a videotape of the situation. Many people find this layer of information very easy to listen for. The listener should listen for the headlines rather than for every detail in the story, or notice what facts and the strongest impact on you. Examples we can read from the slide. I woke up at 6 a.m. In the morning. It rained heavily this morning. I've been working at this company for 5 years. So these are all examples of facts. So everyone has got facts. Have you all been able to understand what facts are? So every conversation has three layers. One are the facts, the feelings, and the values. So we've discussed facts. Any questions so far? Okay. So the listener reflects the feelings they sense or guess might be present and checks if they are correct. Okay, so this is the feelings wheel, very commonly available. So it has, anger in it, sadness, happiness, and all the feelings. So the listener reflects the feelings they sense or guess might be present and check if they are correct. Sometimes the speakers share their feelings very openly, while other times emotions are unspoken but hinted at through tone, expressions, or body language. So, paying attention to the speaker's facial expressions and body language can reveal these deeper emotions. For example, it sounds like you felt hurt when she said that. Is that right? It seems like you're feeling really stressed about your workload. So, these are all feelings. You sound excited about how things turned out. It looks like you're feeling proud of what you accomplished. So, feelings of feeling stressed or proud or excited, these are all when you're trying to confirm a speaker's feelings. So, any questions with regards to the feelings? Okay. So, now the most important ones are the values. Values are what a person holds most important at their core, like family, trust, respect, truth, connection, or compassion. You can see all the values on the screen. So these values are often the deeper reason behind why someone shares a story. When our values are not recognized or fulfilled in daily life, it can cause us a lot of pain. We generally focus on the facts or feelings in a story, but overlook the values driving it. Reflective listening helps us go deeper, beyond words and emotions, to understand the speaker's core values and intentions. So, as a listener, try to identify or guess the values that matter most to the speaker in this situation. Reflecting these values back gives the speaker a very profound sense of being understood. So, I'll just give you a few examples. It sounds like fairness is really important to you in this situation. I sense that trust is something you deeply value here. It seems like family is at the heart of what matters to you. So I'll just stop sharing my screen now. Okay, so let's do a quick round. And can each of you name any of your core values, something that makes life meaningful and that you would be willing to risk or sacrifice a lot? For example, my value is honesty. So, can the others state one value each? Seema,
Family.
family. Okay, great. Sanpreet,
Sincerity and integrity.
great. Rose,
Authenticity, integrity,
thank you. Swati,
Family.
family. Okay. Manish,
I feel in my case, it would be work ethics that is I value the most.
Okay. Nipa,
For me, it would be family and integrity.
integrity. Okay. Jeevan,
Integrity.
Pooja,
Love and integrity.
Kavita.
So honesty, equality, integrity, these are things that I value.
Value. Okay. Sheenu,
Yeah, so in my case also it's work ethics, definitely integrity and sincerity.
Mohan.
Mine is integrity and discipline.
Okay, great. Nidhi?
For me, it's integrity and loyalty.
Okay, great. Now we'll do an exercise to practice identifying facts, feelings, and values. All of you will be listening to Kavita as she shares a situation in her life that is unresolved and causing her pain. Each listener will focus on one layer of the story, and I'll just announce who all will do the facts. So there will be few of us who are going to be listing down or writing down the facts that you hear from Kavita's story. A few of you will be doing the feelings, which means you'll identify the feelings, and few of you will be identifying Kavita's values. So, welcome, Kavita, and thank you so much for volunteering. You could validate or reject their guesses, and let's all get centered, breathe, and then begin. Sanpreet and Jeevan and Nipa will identify the facts in Kavita's story. Okay. Seema, Rose, Swati will identify the feelings in Kavita's story. And Pooja, Mohan, Sheenu, and Manish will identify the values. And Nidhi, you can also identify the feelings. Okay, so I'll just repeat this. Sanpreet, Jeevan, Nipa will do the facts. Seema, Rose, Swati, and Nidhi will identify the feelings. And Pooja, Mohan, Sheenu, and Manish will look for the values. Okay, so over to you, Kavita.
So hi again, I'm Kavita, and thank you, Kanika, for giving me this opportunity to share my story. I live in a joint setup, and we so it's a big joint family and us. So we four of us, me, my husband, and my children. So we all live together in the same house, and we've been harmoniously living together for last 15, 16 years since I got married. And but the house was quite it was quite an old construction, plus there were split levels and stuff, so that's why it was difficult to kind of continue living in that house. So all of us decided, together we decided to rebuild the house, but because of certain complications, we weren't able to demolish the entire building and start from scratch. So we decided to do floor wise. And that's why, I had to move out of the house because my floor and the other floors had to get constructed. So I now currently I'm living in a rented accommodation where, I had a lease for 2 years. And then somehow when the construction actually started happening, we realized how difficult, it was to, the arrangements that we had with contractors and builders and stuff like that. So somehow everything got into a big limbo, and there was construction was just not happening, and almost a year passed when my floor even did not even get started getting constructed. And then slowly, within a couple of months, I started getting feelers from my landlord that, they might, be, okay, they might want me to move out as planned. But we tried to explain to them that it might take a few months. So initially they were okay. But then we were we did have this hope that if our floor is getting delayed, then we might get an extension from them. But in the meantime, the work just wasn't getting completed, and somehow, so I went to a friend and asked them if they could help us with new vendors and stuff. So, but then while and he's a trusted person. So while he said, he understood my situation and he was trying to help and all of that, but in the meantime, he just asked, just show me the drawings of the house, and then he said, according to there's this science behind construction of buildings and all of that. So they said, according to that, your house is pretty off. So where there should be a temple, you're making a toilet. So it's not really the right layout. So you should change the layout. But by then, the civil work had got done, so we really could not change the layout of the house. And since there were three different floors and three families, and together we had decided that to maximize space, this is what we're going to do. So I could not really change the layout. And within a few weeks, mystically, I met another person who again, happened to be, a person who without any vested interest. And I showed her the drawings of my house, and she said, you should just sell the house and not move in. So it was so difficult for me at that time to at one end, my landlord is had given me a soft notice that a lease agreement will not get extended, and here the construction is not happening. Third angle was this thing that it's probably the place is not suitable for you. And then I would want to discuss it with my family, but they were just not okay with it because we spending a lot in terms of rent. We had spent more than what we had thought on actual reconstruction, and nowhere near to completion. So this kind of led to a lot of disagreements within family members, where the most important value that the most important thing for me is family harmony. That itself was getting impacted, and there was stress. Everybody was stressed, and everybody wanted this to get resolved, but everybody had very different points of view. So, and then a recent development was that they very, very categorically said that we want the house vacated by this time. So that's when I had to kind of swallow that additional, the Vastu aspect of it, and where they said that the layout is not okay, because if I follow that, then I may not even have a house to live in. The rental accommodation I have to vacate, and my house is not completed. So then I started focusing on ensuring that the house starts getting completed. So it's still in process, and I'm only hoping that by the end of April, I'm able to move back in. But it's actually, and my children are small. I don't want to displace them. They are at critical school years. So I really don't want a situation where, I'm out of the house and, the place where we want to go back to is not completed. So this was the situation that I am facing at the moment. Thank you. Kanika, you're on mute. You're still on mute.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Thank you so much, Kavita. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Thank you. So now, Sanpreet, Jeevan, and Neepa. So would you be able to, I'll just call out your names one by one, and you can just state a fact that Kavita was able to state. So Sanpreet.
So the facts are that she is living in a joint family of three. They're all together. Um, her family is family of four. Um, 16 years of married life, living in an old construction house. But because of that, there are a lot of difficulties. Um, she is out of her lease of 2 years of agreement. to the
Okay.
landlord.
Yeah. So,
And
okay,
by
okay,
end
okay.
of,
All right. So
oh,
I forgot
sorry.
to say one fact each. Okay. All right.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Thank you so much, Sanpreet. So, Jeevan, would you be able to state any fact from Kavita's story?
So now living in a rented accommodation because of construction going on in the house.
Yeah. Okay. And Nipa, were you able to identify any important fact?
Yeah, I think she asked for some help from a friend. I think that also is a fact.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, Kavita, were they able to identify the most important facts or anything important that got left out?
No, I think they've covered most of it. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Seema, would you be able to state Kavita's feeling?
Yeah, in her difficult times, I feel she went through a roller coaster ride of difficulties, but she's been a caring person because she didn't want her family to get dispersed at this point of time, and
Okay.
um, and she was
Okay.
hopeful.
Okay. So, how was she feeling?
Mm, Yeah, uh, mm,
Any feeling
she
that you
wanted
would?
she wanted to solve the problems that
Okay.
there were frustrations, uh,
Frustration.
yes,
Yeah.
but at
Yeah.
the same time there was hope also.
Okay. So, frustration is a feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. Rose, would you like to state Kavita's feeling? One feeling.
Yeah, so there was a whole sense of loss of control and overwhelm, probably gave rise to lots of anxiety. Some kind of panic is there, and feeling
Right.
very vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Swati, any feeling?
Insecurity of moving out of own house and shifting to a rented accommodation. I have three.
Yes, please go ahead.
Dilemma, whether to keep the house or not, and I guess stress in the family.
It's in the family. Okay, great. So, Nidhi,
Yeah, I think most of the feelings have been stated. Uh, I wrote confusion, uh, felt a little lost, so how to things will complete, worry, and a little unsettled.
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Kavita, were they able to identify your feelings, or you think anyone is left out?
Yeah, they covered most of them, but I was really scared. Maybe it did not come out that well, but I was really scared of how things were going at some point. Now, at least, 50-60% of the work is done, so I'm slightly relieved, but yeah, I was also very scared at one point.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kavita. Pooja, would you be able to share underlying value of Kavita?
I would say strength, which I know she is very strong, and the grit and the power that she has in herself. And she must have, got everybody together, and she must have made everybody understand as to, the reasons for whatever is happening, why is it happening. So that is the intelligence that she has, the strength, like I've already mentioned, the strength, the intelligence, and definitely she's a very hardworking person and very loving and caring. So she
Okay.
must have done a fabulous job. Yeah, and
Okay.
if I had to mention the feelings, I would have mentioned anxiety.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Pooja. Mohan, any value that you'd like to share?
I think she is courageous, like in spite of, whatever is happening to her, the situations, what she's facing, she is still, wants to live together. That's something, it's a value. I'll consider it. In these days, she could have easily moved out with his bag and baggages, but still, she is, making it to stay together. So that thing, I think, is one of the, worthy value.
Thank you. Thank you, Mohan. Sheenu,
I think Mohan has covered the family part. So I will say patience level, which she is having right now. So that is the one value which I feel.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheenu. Manish, you're on mute.
Family is one thing that is the value that I see in her because she mentioned that she doesn't want to displace the kids. Definitely, when you move away from your family, your kids also get separated from your loved ones. One is that. Second thing is that I feel that she's got some value towards the Vastu Shastra even. So she is valuing that point even, and because of that is what is creating the dilemma in her mind that whether she should be moving into that house, she should be disposing it off. So that is also there. So a value for the science behind the Vastu Shastra, something which I think she is believing into it. And then the value for money that is coming in because paying rental and moving in and expenses and catering to all those things. So value for money is also coming in.
Thank you so much, Manish. So, Kavita, were they able to identify your values?
Yeah, I mean, I think some values were new to me also.
Okay.
So
So, which value?
while I
Yeah.
was
I
experiencing
feel
it, I
like
did not know that I had the courage and the strength. But yeah, I have survived that 1.5 years. Yeah, almost
So,
two
which
years now,
value?
actually.
Yeah. So, which value resonated most deeply with you?
Actually, family harmony is very, very important. I think Dr. Mani said that I could have moved out, and the thought did cross my mind, but eventually, it is family harmony is at the deepest core of my life. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kavita, for sharing your story with us. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, does anyone have any questions with regards to this exercise of facts, feelings, and values? So, have you been able to understand that there are three layers to any conversation, any story? Facts, feelings, and values. And we are supposed to be focusing on the values when we are listening to somebody rather than just only focusing on facts and feelings. Okay, feelings are a little dicey because what happens is if we restate somebody's feelings, it might so happen that we may be wrong. We might state the wrong feeling. If a person is feeling tensed and we say that you're frustrated, then that person might, not like it because he might just turn around and say, I'm not frustrated. So feelings, we can keep to ourselves, but we can keep restating the facts and we can restate the value that definitely resonates with the speaker.